Marvel fans, my wife included, have wanted a Black Widow solo film for a while. I would say that ever since Winter Soldier came out, she's been like, hey, how come they haven't made a Black Widow film? And that's a good question. She's a popular character. She's been in, let's see if I can do this. She's been in Iron Man 2, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Avengers Age of Ultron, and now most recently Civil War. So I think it's been 5 of the Marvel movies.
Yes.
Okay. If I'm missing one, berate me.
I was thinking Iron Man 3, but she wasn't in that one.
No. She hasn't been in any of the Thor movies either. She'd be out of place there. But she's a good character. I like this version of Black Widow better than I've seen before. She's been in some of the games that I've played, Spider-Man, Web of Shadows. She's just kind of an obnoxious character. They didn't have Nick Fury in the game, so I think they kind of gave some of Nick Fury's annoying personality traits, like hey, you need to listen to me or else I'm going to lock you up, or worse, that kind of thing. They kind of gave that to her and made her like really, really bossy and like not a cool character. Scarlett Johansson's rendition of her is the best. And I say that because like I don't read the comics, so I don't know how the character's portrayed in the comics. And it's the one that everyone is familiar with at this point.
Yeah.
I think there was a bit of a misstep in Age of Ultron with her character trying to kind of hint at a romantic subplot with Bruce Banner that didn't go anywhere, and rightly so. But she's an extremely complicated female character that makes sense. We don't hate women. Ghostbusters, all that didn't make any sense. Black Widow makes sense as a character. She's a Russian spy now working for the U.S. So totally makes sense for her character to be female. I just want to get that out there. And I think a movie with her would do great. Not only does it have the Marvel properties kind of propping it up, just like with Doctor Strange, but I think it would actually do better than a movie than Doctor Strange because we're all familiar with her. She's been in at least 5 Marvel movies at this point. We know the Black Widow character, albeit just from a supporting role.
You think a Black Widow movie would do better than the Doctor Strange movie?
Financially, yes. I'm not saying that it would be better. I don't know.
I'm not accusing you of like liking one over the other. I think that would actually be kind of a cool thing to look at, to like see which one, because Doctor Strange being a new character,
yeah,
but an actor that's loved by like 1,000 fangirls.
But let's face it, I mean,
it's more than 1,000.
I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch is quite as famous as Scarlett Johansson. She's been doing this a little bit longer than he has.
Ooh, shots fired. Yeah, she has.
I'm just
No, I know.
I'm not saying I like one better than the other.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and clearly,
she's
like,
been in more movies.
She has like, she's more solidified as a character right now than we know of Doctor Strange.
Right, and that's the main point that I'm trying to make with that. Like, she is an established Marvel character who has yet to have her own film yet.
Yeah.
Do I think they need to make it into a trilogy like they are with all the other ones? No. Probably not. And in the article that listed this, I believe that we found on Polygon, she basically feels that she's only got a few more good years left as Scarlett Johansson, wearing, the skin tight black outfit that Black Widow is known to wear.
What a tragedy.
That will be a tragedy. Because I mean, she's kind of. I think they probably could find someone to do the role just as well as her. But yeah, the day when that happens, it'll still be sad. But I mean, that being said, she's going to be in the next Avengers movies for Thanos, the Infinity Wars, or I don't even know what they're calling them nowadays.
I think it's Infinity Wars.
But the one where Thanos comes in and kills everybody, supposedly. That one. But she's going to be in that one. And I mean, I think the character has earned it. I know that they're probably a little bit leery with having a female lead for a superhero movie, because superhero movies usually have guys go to see it who drag their girlfriends along with them. And I think this would be girls wanting to see Scarlett Johansson kick butt and kind of dragging the guys to go to see it, but the guys kind of want to go because it's Scarlett Johansson. I don't think there's
going to be much dragging involved.
Maybe. That could be the case. But anyway, I think this is a good idea. I think it should happen. And it would be interesting. I mean, if you wanted to, and judging by Scarlett Johansson's comments from the article, she'd be happy with doing like a prequel of sorts that kind of showed how she got to this point. I would like to see her do that. In fact, I'd like to have Hawkeye in it so that we can see their, history of working together. I think that would be cool. And she also said that she'd be willing to do one that took place in the current state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would be more interested in a prequel.
I would like to see her becoming a Russian spy.
Origin story.
Especially because they kind of hinted at like her history as like a young woman with the organization she was with when they were training her in the Age of Ultron movie.
Right.
So it's like you've already got something like there.
That's
so
true.
Why not just build out from that? Like, I feel like either one that's like not as far back as like her backstory, but one that's kind of like her doing something as like modern day Black Widow.
Yeah,
I feel like that would do just as well. But just as someone like I don't know the character that well and like her history, and I really like learning about comic book heroes' origins. I like watching. I really watch more YouTube videos about like superheroes and supervillains origins, just because I don't have the time to or the money to go buy a bunch of comic books and like read up on all these cool heroes. But that's definitely a character that like I like. Just the idea of Black Widow, of like a Russian spy, and then like, what's the word for it?
Origin?
No, I want to say converging over to America, defecting to America.
Yeah, defecting.
I think that would be a really cool thing. Like the idea of that is just really cool, and to show that process of her like being trained, and then her realizing like
and
these
her
people
getting
are just evil, and then like going and wanting to do some good.
Yeah, and getting recruited by Nick Fury, and I think that would give him more screen time because we haven't really seen him much.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would go see it. Marvel, you should make it happen. This is a much better idea than the Spider-Man spin-off films.
Yes. Unfortunately, you have no control in that.
No.